Hello High Seas fans, my name is Cindy.
And I'm Paul, what's up?
Welcome to our channel. Today we're going to talk about the highs and lows of the Carnival victory.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to start out with the lows, and we're going to talk about the one thing that we did not like about was Deck 5.
Right. Deck 5 is definitely the biggest low on that ship. They've got everything on that deck. I mean, all the casinos, the bars, the piano bar, the alchemy. They've even got the sushi on the 5th deck. And on formal night, they just overload the picture taking area. And I've, in 10 years of cruising and probably 17, 18 Carnival cruises, I've never seen such a traffic jam on a deck on formal night.
What I'll do is place a little video right here and show you when we walked down Deck 5 on Elegant Night, how crowded it was with the people getting their photos taken, people in the casino, trying to listen to the band. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and also you have to go through Deck 5 to get to the main dining room if you're in the back on a scheduled time, either later or early dining. So when you have that, the formal, you have all the bars and lounges and the casino. It is really congested, and especially on that formal night again. But every night it was crowded, wouldn't you say?
I would say.
Yeah, but sorry to interrupt, but you know, the thing is on formal night, I mean, I kid you not, you would have to wait for groups and groups of people to walk by. You would have, it probably took, I would say, at least 10 to 15 minutes to get from one side of that deck to the other. The other nights were a little crowded. It's still, you know, we've kind of noticed that sometimes on the Conquest lines, but never that bad. So hopefully when they redo that ship and it's the Radiance, hopefully they've got that eliminated and they're going to open it up. And definitely, I'm sure they're going to get rid of the sushi area that's right in the middle of the walkway.
Yeah, it was horrible, yes.
Yeah.
And another thing we didn't like about how they had the band right again on Deck 5 where the walkway was, because we really like the Dream Class ships, how they have the Ocean Plaza, and where it's a separate area because they have the walking area on this one side and they have the Ocean Plaza right in the center where you can actually sit, relax, and have to deal with the people coming and going.
Yeah, and the band wasn't that great on that ship either. And I've even noticed on the Dream Class lately, some of the bands have been hit and miss. Sometimes you get really good tight bands, and then sometimes they're okay. But definitely on the Carnival Victory there, that was definitely a little bit of a low, that the band, and then the placement of it with the traffic. There was no way you could enjoy that. Even if you were sitting on the side by the windows there, there's just so many people. It's a sea of people. That problem hopefully gets eliminated on the
And even by the casino bar was pretty congested too.
Yeah.
People were trying to dance, but then you had people walking, coming and going, taking pictures. It was really hard to do any of that stuff.
So that was probably the biggest low without a doubt. The other things are just a couple small things that we want to throw on there, but that is the biggest problem on that ship.
Another thing, one of our other lows was the Atrium Bar. We like how the Atrium is more wide open. They have on the higher decks of the Atrium, they have places where you can sit and enjoy the bands and stuff like that.
Yeah, with you know, like on a lot of the Dream Class, in the Dream ship, you know, one thing about the Dream ship, it's got the couches that go all around on each deck where you can sit there and enjoy the entertainment in the Atrium, which is great. This area was really small and there was no area to really relax. Sorry for the little disruption here.
And then the next one would be one of the ones we did not like was the theater, the entertainment. You did not.
Yeah, well, the theater was, you know, the entertainment was down a little bit on this ship, but you got to realize it's probably one of the more affordable ships in the fleet. So
we didn't like how the sound system was in there.
Yeah, sound system's not that great, especially, you know, like when we went to the Horizon. I mean, I was blown away. The comparison of the sound, you know, the sound stage in the theater was definitely, you know, lacking in the Victory. That's for sure.
Don't get us wrong, but you're going to enjoy the shows and stuff, but it's just a little bit different.
Well, to wrap up the lows, here's, you know, you're not going to have the newest stuff. You're not going to have the most activities. You're not going to have the newest shows. You're not going to have the best sound system. But if you like cruising with the piano bar, live bands, casinos, and more of the traditional style cruising without all the waterworks and the rope courses and all that, then you'll be fine.
We had no problems with the Victory. We really enjoyed the Victory. We just did a little bit of lows that we did encounter.
Yeah.
And the last one we did encounter was the muster drill.
Yeah, that was the worst muster drill I've ever attended, period.
Yes.
Very
The
unorganized.
staff was unorganized.
Yeah.
People didn't know where to go. Of course, if you get there early, you're going to be pushed against the wall, and the later people will be in the front of the line. The muster drill is outside that we noticed. There could have been a few people inside, but mainly everybody was lined up outside.
Yeah, most of the bigger ships and the newer ships, they put you in the restaurants and the theaters and, you know, the comedy areas and all
Yes.
that. Where this, they had everybody for the most part outside, and it was very unorganized. It took them a long time to get it going. It wasn't well organized at all. It was probably the longest without a doubt, and the staff was not that helpful, and
No.
so it could be the heat and humidity. It was pretty hot and humid too.
In
So
Miami,
but definitely muster drill coordination needs a little help on that ship.
Now that we're done with the lows, Paul, let's start with the highs.
Yeah.
Now the number one high was, what was it, Paul?
The price.
The price.
Right.
We actually knew we booked the Serenity Seas group cruise, and we wanted maybe to sneak in a little bit of a early cruise.
Right.
And we did go on Vacations to Go, and we happened to find this cruise.
Right. And if you haven't caught our Vacations to Go video yet, please check that out. We'll put that link up in there.
Exactly how we booked it,
Yeah.
the price we paid, all the drops we did
Yeah.
receive.
A lot of great information on that.
I will link that at the
Yeah.
bottom too for you guys.
Yeah, we already had a hotel a couple days before, and we hadn't had a cruise in the spring, and we hadn't had a break in about 10 months from work. So an opportunity came where we could take a little extra time off, and I started looking at hotel rooms, and you're looking $200-300 a night, and I'm willing to spend an extra $100 a night to get a nice place to stay than someplace behind, the Cracker Barrel or something right off the airport with the noise all night long. So I started looking at hotels. Hotels were pretty pricey. So we found this cruise initially for $199, which I thought was a great price. It ended up going down to $159.
Yes.
And I think port fees, taxes, everything was right about $500.
It was very
so
reasonable.
yeah, I went on a 4-day cruise for less than 2 nights at a hotel, and I had entertainment. When you stay at hotels, you got to pay for parking, you got to pay for a meal or two, you got to pay for Ubers, taxis, entertainment. So, and that's one reason, of course, why we like
That was our
cruising.
number one reason why we booked
Yeah.
the Carnival.
Yeah, so
Victory.
I mean, I could have spent that much in one day, and got a 4-day cruise out of it. We weren't expecting a lot when we booked it, and we were definitely pleasantly surprised.
Well, let's talk about that, Paul. Next is about the food quality. How'd you feel about the food quality on the Carnival Victory?
Food was the best food that I've ever experienced. Well, second best. Probably our first cruise was maybe a little bit better.
Almost 10 years
but
ago.
That was 10 years ago, and that's when they were still offering rack of lamb in the MDR. And they've taken away a lot of things over the last 10 years and added them into specialty restaurants. So, food quality, I've never had food so hot.
I mean, we'd order multiple items, and they would bring out the first ones, and then after we're done, they would wait, and they would bring out the next items, which sometimes cruise lines will actually bring everything out at once with all appetizers, and then everything just sits in between.
Sits in the trays. Yeah, they would wait and say, "Hey, we didn't forget. We got your food." The food was spot on.
It was awesome.
I mean, I've given it a 10 out of 10. The food was perfect. There wasn't one meal in the MDR, breakfast, brunch, dinner. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Even we got breakfast burritos. They were hot. I mean, everything was spot on.
Yeah, that's a very tight crew.
Yes.
Very. The chef and even the hospitality service directors have
Well,
done
let's
an
talk
amazing.
about the service, Paul. That was another one of our highs, was the service on the ship.
Right. Yeah, service was 10 out of 10 too. MDR, our servers were amazing. Unbelievable.
At the casino bar, they were very accommodating.
Yeah,
nice.
very friendly, the bar staff.
Yes.
You know, I find when you get on some of these newer, fancier ships, I don't know if there's more people to deal with, but the staff in the bars were very personable.
Yes.
Very friendly in the very first encounter. Sometimes they're a little standoffish, and then you kind of work your way in and soften them up a little bit. But they were very accommodating.
Well, it shouldn't take giving them extra gratuity to make them more,
Right,
nicer.
yeah.
They should be nice no matter what. And
Right.
on the Carnival Victory, the minute we stepped up anywhere for any service, they were willing and ready to help us out.
Yeah, I was blown away. And one thing I want to talk about real quick, getting on the service, is my room steward was amazing.
Yes. Let's talk about part of the service that when we first got on the ship, Paul really likes his beds. Why?
Yeah, I like one thing that I really like about Carnival is they have, as far as I'm concerned, and from other cruisers, they feel the same way too. That Carnival has some of the best beds at sea.
Yes.
And my back's pretty sensitive to a saggy bed. When we first got there, I had a real saggy bed, and I always make contact with my room steward right away, introduce myself, and usually we're on early, so we meet the housekeeping supervisor.
Yes.
So I called them up and I said, hey, this bed's real saggy. Can we put a board or something to firm it up? And they talked about it, and they actually had gotten some new beds in. So they switched my bed out and gave me a brand new bed.
Yes.
And both the room steward and the supervisor, a couple times during my stay, came up to me and said, hey, is the bed, everything good? I'm like, everything's perfect.
They made it like what Paul wanted it. I mean,
Yeah.
they're there to make Paul and me, happy. So
Right.
we actually, Paul loved the bed. They made sure they called us up a couple times during our cruise and make sure everything was wonderful.
Yep,
and
everything was totally spot on.
Yes.
Service, like I said, best service in a long, long time. And I'll say it again. They have a very tight crew on that Carnival Victory. Very professional and very service oriented.
Our next high is we really love the ship decor.
Yeah, the decor.
It was really nice.
A lot of people are, it's got a lot of that, 90s, 2000s Vegas glamour.
But it wasn't gaudy or anything. It
Right,
didn't have
right.
the orangey or anything like that. But
Right.
it had more like the sea life, which we
Right.
really enjoy.
Right, and that's what I wanted to point on. They have a lot of like mermaids in the dining room. They have seahorses everywhere. They have display cases with seashells on the fifth deck there by the coffee shop, and dolphins in the theater. Just a lot of sea decor, which is really cool.
And please, if you haven't checked out our ship tour, we do have a ship tour out, and it shows you every area on that ship. And it looks, you can't believe it's an older ship, and
Yeah.
it's going to be refurbished and actually renamed here soon. So it's a beautiful ship, even though it's still the Carnival Victory.
Yeah, we got a couple comments. People said, well, we made that ship look really good. Honestly, the ship, I'm going to give it, for its style and its age, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. The only area I noticed a little wear was maybe in the theater seating.
Yes.
Wasn't bad, but that was the only place I really noticed any wear. The rest of the ship was very clean, but a lot of people don't like that Vegas old Vegas glamour style. I kind of like it. It doesn't bother me. I kind of like the festive colors, so I find some of the new ships to be a little bland. So I like the neon and the color.
I really like that ship. I've never seen a ship like that before, and to me, the minute I got on that ship, it put a smile on my face.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that ship.
Yeah, the minute we walked on and we saw the seahorse tables and just all the sea colors and just all the sea vibe was really cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's what we like. We like to feel like we're at sea when we're cruising. I know a lot of people, they want to feel like they're in a big hotel or a big shopping mall. I want to see the sea. I want to feel like I'm at sea. I want to see sea decor. So I think that really made us happy when we saw that. And hopefully, I know I've seen, we're getting ready to go on the Carnival Sunrise, and I've seen a lot of pictures of what the Radiance is going to look like, and it's going to be the same style, but I hope somewhere in that ship they keep that sea style. And if you haven't cruised on it, you got what, about 6 months
Yes.
from the time of this video. So if you're looking for an affordable cruise, and you're not looking for all the, you know, the
bells and
3D
whistles.
theaters
Yeah.
and all the specialty high-end stuff, and you just want to experience dancing, music, casino, MDR, and just relaxation, this is a highly recommended cruise. Absolutely.
Now, the other one we liked about on our high was the Serenity Deck.
Yeah.
It was actually a pretty big Serenity Deck. It had like all the showers, like different kind of sprays.
Yeah, and it had like all the upgrades of all the
Yes.
newer ships with the hot tubs on both sides. Had that big shower section
Yes.
that we put in our ship tour there. So it had all the new amenities of all the other Serenity decks. And that's one thing I want to touch on too, is all the rooms to me already look like they've been updated. They've got all the newer carpet, doors, TVs.
Now let's talk about one of the lows I forgot to mention about the doors in the cabin, how they put those vents on those doors.
For some reason they cut big holes in the doors and they put vents.
Yes.
Why, I don't know, but one thing that I like about cruising in inside cabins, a lot of times it's very quiet inside and you don't hear much. Well, with those holes in those vents now, you can hear all the commotion in the hallways.
Now, I think we took a picture of that. I'll try to find that and put that in there, and to let you guys see that it's a vent. So you actually hear people coming down, having conversations in the hallway, and it sounds like they're in your room, which is really
Yeah, and I mentioned that before. We were across from a couple big suites, and they had a couple big gatherings there, and sometimes it was late at night and it was kind of noisy. And a lot of times we just, because you'll get people are leaving the bars late and they're running down the hallway and not thinking about other people. And so we usually leave the music on in our cabin to kind of drain out that noise. So. And
we noticed about because at the arcade, it was a nice arcade.
Very nice.
The
arcade.
Casino was really nice too. I like the casino and the shops. We didn't do a lot of shopping this time, but it's a really nice ship. If you have a chance, cruise on it at cheap rates out of Miami.
Right.
And anything.
Yeah,
else?
it's always like what like. It's like I've seen it as low as $139.
Now, we were thinking about doing it to do maybe 3 cruises in January, but we didn't want to push it with our job. But he found an awesome cruise.
Yeah, there was a deal right at the beginning of January there for $139. I think it was a 4-day cruise.
4-day cruise.
Yeah. So if you get a chance, you're down there, you want to do a cruise. Yeah. Hey man, it's far cheaper to be on that cruise ship than it is at those hotels.
Because we wanted to do it again to see, well, maybe it was just a fluke. Right. Maybe that one cruise we were on was just awesome, but we wanted...
I think those... I'm not taking anything away from those servers and those chefs and cooks. There's no way that was a fluke. Not every day.
They had it nailed down. Nailed down.
And I've said it in my mukbang video. If you haven't watched that, check that out. And I'm talking about the cruise in general. But I think a lot of the Carnival ship staff needs to go on that cruise and see how these guys are doing it, because they're spot on.
It is. We love this cruise. It's one of our top cruises.
Yeah.
Top 5. I mean, it's in there. So it was an awesome cruise.
Yeah, it sure is. And we're going to do it next November for Thanksgiving. So we're going to do a comparison video between the Victory and the Radiance. And they're going to have all the new waterworks and all the new stuff on there. So we'll see. We're
hoping they're not going to get rid of all the sea, decor and stuff, because I really enjoyed that. But
yeah, unfortunately,
they're
going to.
But,
so
we're going to do a comparison back in November 2020. So we'll let you guys know how we felt the difference between the Victory and the Radiance.
Yeah. And hey guys, if you haven't subscribed to High Seas Friends yet, check out High Seas Cindy and Paul. That's our High Seas Friends. And that's everything cruise related.
On Facebook.
So.
And then, of course, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe. Yep. We would really love that.
Yep. High Seas Cindy and Paul.
Yes.
So we're right about, December 30th right now?
Yes.
So we're getting ready to break in the new year. We've got the Carnival Sunrise coming up.
But we're going to start the Carnival Horizon videos coming up here soon. So check those out too, because we really enjoyed our cruise.
And we've got a great comparison of Nachi Cacombe and Mr. Sancho's getting ready to come out in the next couple weeks. So look forward to that. And also we've got an 8-day on the Carnival Magic, and we've got the spa booked for that 8-day cruise. And what's really cool is on our Facebook page, I just did a question survey of, do you prefer your sea days in the beginning or at the end? And what's cool is this cruise has Half Moon Cay and Grand Turk with no sea days in the beginning, then a sea day break, and then 2 more ports with the sea days on the back
Two
end.
sea days at the end,
Yeah.
which is going to be really awesome.
Which we can really take advantage of that spa. And the Carnival Magic has one of the best spas.
Yes.
And we've got a great video on that as well.
Because
So
we went on it last year, or actually this January of 2019,
Yep.
the spa tour. So
Yep.
check that
And
out.
the spa is one of the reasons why I wanted to go back on the Carnival Magic. I think it's got one of the best spas and one of the best casinos in their fleet.
It's
So,
awesome. So
yeah.
we may spend a little time in the casino too.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.
We'll try new things though, because we already
Yeah.
did the spa, actually the ship tour. So we're gonna try to do some different things on the Carnival Magic.
All right, guys. Well, take care and make sure you like and subscribe and stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff coming up. And say goodbye to Kirby.
Here's a little curb.
Mr. Kirby.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, guys.
See you next time.
Next time in our next videos.
And Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye.